Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. Guys, I'm super happy to have you guys here on the channel. Each time I see just one single view on this channel, bro, it means the world to me. For that, I say big thank you for whoever that's watching this video right now. You mean the world to me. So here's the deal. Just imagine you happen to spend $2 billion on a company. Bro, I'm not talking about $200 million or even $2 million. I'm talking about $2 billion on a firm. And you feel that if I can integrate this particular product to my already existing business, it's going to help me like lead among my competitors. The deal was done. Lawyers have already signed everything and engineers have already started working on it. Then just barely 4 months later, you happen to receive a one-line memo from a foreign government. And the thing was simple: unwind the deal. Bro, like, how do I unwind the deal? You were not giving an initial warning, not even chance for you to explain yourself. It was just a straight up order. Give it back. I have no choice than to comply. But here's the fun part. This government has no legal jurisdiction over the deal in the first place. So, where from? How were they able to exercise this kind of authority over the deal in the first place? Well, this is exactly what we're going to be covering in this video. And without us going far, it just happened. The Chinese government just exercised this kind of right over Mark Zuckerberg, you know, the meta boss. And not just that alone, this should also serve as a lesson to future venture capitalists whenever it concerns inter-border deal. So make sure you sit right and let us sail this ship. Before we start talking about all the whole drama and all the money stuff, let us understand what Meta actually bought. We all know ChatGPT, right? You type a question and it gives you back an answer. It is smart, it is impressive, but at the end of the day, it is reactive. It just sits there waiting for you to talk to it. You are the one doing the driving and it's just like a smart passenger. Manus, on the other hand, is completely different. It doesn't just sit and wait. It acts.
For the past year, we've been quietly building what we believe is the next evolution in AI. And today, we're launching an early preview of Manus, the first general AI agent. This isn't just another chatbot or workflow. It's a truly autonomous agent that bridges the gap between conception and execution. While other AI stops at generating ideas, Manus delivers results.
Here's an example. Supposing you're a small business owner and you're looking at running a marketing campaign and you tell Manus, run an ad campaign for me, targeting people in Lagos because I'm in Nigeria. So supposing I'm to target people in Lagos and the age should be within 25 to 35 that are interested in investing. Every other AI will just reply you with a list of ideas and maybe a guidelines that you should follow. You understand? But Manus, on the other hand, was completely different. It drafts the actual ad copy, log into your ad management software, run the ad campaign, schedule the post, and book a meeting call with a freelancer it found on its own. In fact, Manus entirely handle all the whole tasks for you. It just gives it a goal and it helps you execute it. So now let's go straight to the numbers. How efficient and what is the market cap that this AI has been able to achieve? Don't forget that it has been just barely a year since its launch. It has achieved a recurring revenue of over $127 million in just a short amount of time. And not just that alone, it has been able to process about 147 trillion tokens. When put in a more simpler terms, it has been able to compute a large amount of data that is equivalent to 110 trillion words. That's about 220 big exercise book. I don't know if that is how they calculate how efficient an AI could be, but from the result, it seems to be like a good data for this AI within this short amount of time. Another huge achievement is that it has been able to create about 80 million virtual computers. Now, with this record-breaking achievement, Microsoft became interested. ByteDance, you know, the TikTok of a teen, made an offer. Meta quickly swooped in and they paid between $2 and $3 billion and walked away with the deal. Now, here is the reason why Mark Zuckerberg needed this so badly and he didn't hesitate to make the payments. Meta has spent tens of billions of dollars, if I'm not mistaken or exaggerating, on AI data centers, recruiting engineers, research labs, and many other things. But still, if you ask an average person, what does Meta AI really do for you? The answer will be, I don't really know. And it's true. You see, how many times have you used your WhatsApp AI to maybe log a question or maybe search for a query. It is more easier for you to slide into your ChatGPT and at least get your responses that you really need. Meta has been spending a large amount of investment on AI, but the direct revenue is nowhere to be found. It's as if they are putting money into something without having a direct revenue from it. So that is generally Meta's problem. They have a world-class infrastructure, but the product that will help them to achieve money from this infrastructure has not yet arrived. Manus was to be the ultimate game changer. It was to be the solution to their long quest. The plan was to take Manus' agentic capability, which is the ability to do things itself, and wire it onto everything that Meta already owns. Funniest thing, Meta has already slipped in Manus into their ad management. That was February of this year. Some person just woke up and just found this tool already there in the menu section. So it was like a done deal. Nothing could ever go wrong. But when everything seems perfect, that is when the worst happened. So just barely a few days ago, China's most powerful economic body, the National Development and Reform Commission, just released a statement. It says, and I read, the NDRC had decided to prohibit foreign investment in the Manus project and required all parties to withdraw their transaction. No detail or explanation, just cancel it. Now, here's what's making this case kind of a unique one and is making most financial analysts really worried. Manus is a Singapore company, not a Chinese company. That's number one. The deal is between an American company and a Singaporean entity. That's number two. By every conventional legal standard, China has no jurisdiction over this deal. This would be like US government trying to block a deal between a British company and an Indian company because the Indian founders were originally born in the US. In fact, most legal scholars will argue that that's not how international business law works. And yet, China just snapped their fingers and both companies are complying. So now, this is the part of the video that concerns every startup founder or a venture capitalist that has been using this exact same trick over the last few years and has working perfectly for them until now. So basically, this is how it works. You're a Chinese engineer or entrepreneur. You create something incredible in China with great resources, great talents, and lower cost. But you know, having made in China stamp is going to create problems. So you decided to move your business to Singapore. You reincorporate your company in Singapore. You rent an office, get a local address, and hire a few Singaporean employees. And now, on paper, you are a Southeast Asian tech company. Clean, neutral, and investable for anybody that wants to invest into your company, right? Manus did exactly just like this. The parent company behind Manus moved its headquarters from Beijing to Singapore in 2025. Just barely months later, Meta came knocking at the door for a deal. But China message this week is kind of direct and unmistakable. We don't care what your letterhead says you people are from, but as long as the code was written in China by Chinese engineer funded with Chinese resources, that technology is basically ours, and we decide what happens to it. And it gets even worse for the founders of Manus because the two co-founders were recently summoned in Beijing. That was March of this year, and they are told not to leave China until all reviews and investigation has been done. So Mark Zuckerberg paid $2 billion for the company, whose two founders are currently sitting in Beijing, unable to board a plane to join their new employer. Wow. Now, the deeper problem is that Meta didn't just sign a contract and wait. They acted fast. Over 100 Manus engineers relocated to Meta's Singapore office and started working immediately. The technology was being actively integrated into Meta's internal system. Now, Meta now have to do something very, very painful. Reverse engineer their own product that already has a new technology woven into it. That costs money, costs time, and engineering resources. So whatever Meta has been able to create in the last 4 months with the help of Manus now have a huge question mark on it. So why Mark Zuckerberg spend the next 12 months untangling this deal, getting their money back, and restructuring a new plan? OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic are busy sprinting. You know, in the AI race, 1 year is an eternity. The gap that gets created when you're forced to hit the brake while everyone else accelerates is very hard to close. Now, to make sense out of this whole situation, it goes beyond just tech. We are literally watching the digital technology ecosystem literally being divided into two separate worlds, and it's happening faster than most people realize. So if you did find value on this video, make sure to drop a like on my video. And if you're very much interested in this kind of topic like global economic news updates, because that's what I'm going to be covering on this channel from now henceforth, make sure to subscribe on this channel.